Hello, welcome and well met. Welcome to the stream. I'm Leona Theodosia, and today I am playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're starting episode 8 today. Which, yeah, well, you know what? The game's gonna tell you what it's called. I don't need to do that. So, let's jump into la gamey. Yeah, we're... Also, I might be coughing more because it's been really dry lately, and it's been drying my throat out, and I have a bottle of sports drink here. Well, like electrolyte thingy, so hopefully that helps. Because this drinking water hasn't been cutting it, but I also have my water bottle still. I have a lot to drink right here. Anyway, nope, don't use the mouse. I almost used my mouse. That's not gonna work. This is on the Switch. It's not gonna work if I use my computer mouse. Oh boy. Oh, mousey, you gotta go. We're gonna have narration with text, probably. Well, you know what? I might be still covering it up. Let me scooch down a little bit. So at least if it's just slightly above where I was. I'll get covered up. Because we're starting another episode, so that means we get a little, how to put it? We get a little novel introduction. Like, this is what Iris wrote, and it's off of what Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote. Almost word for word, so I've been told. I've still only read one Sherlock Holmes story. I could read two, but I'm pretty sure that the second one in the two-part book I have has Moriarty show up. And every time I've tried reading it, I'm like, no, I don't have the brain space to deal with Sherlock and Moriarty in one story. Goodbye. I'd literally read more Sherlock Holmes, but the only other one I have access to has Moriarty in it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm like, I don't need two handfuls. Yay! Yeah, episode 3 of Resolve. Yeah, the return of the great departed soul.
The grand end of the century great exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors.
That's so funny.
The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case. And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the crystal tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Okay, there's an introduction. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
Turn this up a little bit. Oh, hello, Frug. Welcome. Oh, hello. I usually get people right away or like halfway through. You're surprising me. Hello. I don't know why I wasn't expecting people. Okay. That caught me off guard today. I don't know why. Okay, but yeah, we got... I'm going to leave the volume up a little bit. Excuse me, game. I keep seeing the volume meter go up for my Switch, and I'm like, But I don't hear anything. Do I need to turn up my headphones? Yeah, I might. That's probably more at the sound. Okay, that's just slightly too loud for my poor ears. There we go. Okay, this is probably a little louder than what you guys are hearing. But I'll have it... Okay, this is voiced over. I'm gonna turn it up a bit. I hopefully remember to turn it back down. But yeah, we'll turn it up. Okay, thank you, Margaret. That's helpful. Yeah, okay. We'll put the volume up a little higher for this intro bit.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Oh, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world.
Oh yeah, this is why it confuses me why people can't place the time period of this game. It's because this exhibition, because we literally just had in the opening that it's like the last hurrah of the century, meaning it's 1899 right now, and people are like, it has to be at least 1886 during this time. I'm like, dude, it's 1899. I don't understand why people, it's like, it literally tells you this is like the last year of the century. And it's clearly going from the 1800s to the 1900s. So just because it's relevant right now, this is why I make all the confused noises about people who go on these harebrained schemes about trying to figure out what the time period is. I'm like, the game starts like 3 or 4 years beforehand because the exact plotting, it's probably like 3 years. Like, the first game takes place more like 2 years ago, and this is currently 1899, and I'm like, I don't know why you guys have that so hard to figure out, but okay. But whatever. Just gonna laugh. What else can I do? Anyway, what is going on with this guy with the very poofy hair, honestly. Also, hello, I see you too. He's just been princess waving the entire time. I just realized it's a looping animation, so you could just leave it on the screen. That guy will princess wave indefinitely. He just has to be... His arm would be so tired if he was an actual person. Okay, moving on.
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies.
This guy's very excited about all these advancements.
And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
I just want to point out, because I played Professor Layton in the Unwound Future long before I played this, I was sitting here and it's about at this time where I'm like, isn't this the start of the Unwound Future? Isn't this just the plot of the opening of the third Professor Layton game? And my immediate thought was, this is not gonna end well. I know how it ended with the last one, this is not gonna end well. If the fact that this is how it starts with and it's an Ace Attorney game, I mean, like, unless this is your first introduction, this is even with just this series, it's like, this isn't gonna end well. This isn't going to end well at all. Someone's gonna die. I don't know what to do but laugh.
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
I really hope I don't have to explain why this one line is just full of all the concern. Oh gosh. Given that this is my second playthrough, I'm a little bit just like, I'm here for the ride. I've already had my surprise Pikachu face moments and all that, but I still can't help this one moment. I'm like, this is bad idea all over the place. And being a person living in 2024, I'm like, that's not how science works. That's not how this works. This is not how this works. This is a bad idea. That's not how any of this works. It's like that. Yeah, I'm not the only one who thinks so. Yay. Yeah, steampunk vibes. I mean, this is... Wait, I don't think it's Victorian times. It's Queen Vic... Because, it's Victorian times or because Queen Victoria's alive. I think this is the Edwardian times because King Edward is on the throne, hence Victorian, Edwardian. Ah. It's functionally the same thing. There's just, you know, slight differences over the passage of time, and I'm just getting distracted by everything. We are like 2 minutes into this episode, and I'm already like having 5-minute long tangents. I'm sorry.
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations, exactly as it was before.
I'm sorry, Mr. Scientist Dude, but you were in the wrong game for this to work. Everyone look away if you don't want to see catastrophe happen. Oh my gosh, this man.
In but a few moments from now.
One word could describe this man right now, and it is giddy.
These gentlemen will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
This is not a real building, but I think it's a combination of the Eiffel Tower and the Crystal Palace. If you don't know what either of those things are, just please look it up. I would hope you at least know what the Eiffel Tower is, given that still exists. The Crystal Palace, not so much. At least the one I'm talking about. I acknowledge there's other places called Crystal Palace. It's not exactly the most unique of names. Anyway, moving on. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you were more well presented after doing that, I would be like, this definitely isn't working. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. All right. Bye. That was a lot. Oh, hey, it's October. Spooky month! Tempted to go... Okay, no. I can't switch fast enough, otherwise it'd be really funny to go use my Halloween look. Quickly be hi. But no. I can't switch quickly enough for that to be a funny gag. Alright, let me put the audio down a little bit again. Back to how I usually have it. Think about switch games right there. I will adjust it a little higher if I need to. Okay. We're clearly in, yes, it's like, hey, you're in Shlums this week. I'm like, you don't say. What's going on? Why? Okay. First line from our protagonist and it's just dots. What's up? Oh, hi. Hi, Arius. Bruno, are you listening? Oh, sorry, what was that, Iris? What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast? No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again? Today's paper! It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again! Yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime. She's pouting. You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley? I think he's down too. We got two sad people in the house. I'm honestly more concerned about Shloves. Why is Mr. Puffy Cloudhead Detective depressed today? Last time I was yelling into the mic about Shlums now. Do I have to do that again? Do you need some caramel? Caramel cheered you up last. Apparently cheers you up. Oh gosh, you're even more down. It's even doing a sound effect every time he shows up on screen. Oh, hi! Ooh, okay, bye. Well, that happened really fast. Now he's ready to punch the... Okay then. When did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? I've been here about there. I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I thought you might have known I was here. You know, because breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much so that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. That's rude. He is a goober. In my opinion, it's always a good episode when you start out with Shlomes and Iris. They're such the comedic duo. Iris, of course, being the straight man. Metaphorically speaking, I have a comedic duo. Look it up if you don't understand what I mean. Please. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. Can you? Iris definitely can, but I think you get sidetracked a little too easily, mister. What? Let's see. Yes. For example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. I think his hair's normally like that, Shlomes. We've been over this before, actually. Clearly it can be deduced, therefore that. Let me stop you there, Mr. Shlomes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has, ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut, Oh. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks again. You can smack him. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now. 6 months? Since I was... since I was forbidden from working in court. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned. Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley? And now he's glum too. Did you get ignored? Shlomes? Did you say something, Iris? Back to moping. Why is he moping? Iris, you have your hands full. These two. Why is the 10-year-old the most adult in this house right now? We don't have Susato. Oh, those two. They keep the men in line. Poor Iris. What's the matter with... There. What's the matter with Mr. Shlom? I keep slipping up on my words. What's the matter with Mr. Shloms today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me. I know! And the Great Exhibition has opened! You think he'd be excited. Oh! Why don't we all go see it together? I want to! Of course I do! But I can't! Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective, after all. Oh, now I remember what. Now I know why he's sad. I think I figured it out. Anyway, continuing on. So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from. Is that it? He's thinking that, by the way. I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley. Is he not actually on a case? I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Is he gonna tell us anything? Events since months ago. You're gonna. Why is that the last? Okay. We'll just go down the list. Events since 6 months ago. That would be Gina's case with... what was that about? Oh, right. Windy Bank. Windy Banks. My brain's like, yeah, the McGilded related one. I'm like, McGilded wasn't the victim in that case. Who was the victim? It was Windy Banks. The poor man. We got it for like 2 minutes, but like... I'm like, I rather liked Windy Banks. I was actually genuinely upset when I figured out he was one of the victims for the cases. I'm like, excuse me, I thought we just got reintroduced to a reoccurring character or something. Nope. He doesn't make it. Anyway.
Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time, unforgivable mistake.
The music box. Words fail me. The situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo!
Yes, my lord?
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord.
So panic. Poor guy.
In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing.
You have, haven't you, Runa? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Shlom's old cases. Brewing Iris's special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Mr. Naruhodo. Or Master Naruhodo.
Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically Lord Strongheart, at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart? Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow.
He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could, and I can't do that just sitting around here.
Great exhibition. Well, I need a drink again. I keep getting, again, dry throat. It's really dry. Or at least for me. Okay. Apparently I need to drink probably 3 bottles of water in a day. Because the weather decided to be really dry. Ah! We're going through a lot of chapstick too. It's kind of annoying at this point, honestly. Anyway. I'm gonna probably have to take more water breaks, as it were. It's the relevant information.
The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it?
Ow. I clacked my teeth together. That's unpleasant. Nam 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 nam. Okay. Feeling is gone. The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching. Okay, so it's 6 months. So it could be it's probably only a couple years Or maybe, actually, no, it could be over the turn of the century. At least that's what I feel like, because it's October right now. So yeah, it's October, November, December, and then it might have 3 months in the new year, the new century. At least that's the impression I always got. Anyway, moving on. Not important for the story right now. Or in any point, because I don't think time is important. More important now. I mean, besides, like, within this hour, X, Y, and Z happened kind of thing, but like, hey, a few months ago, this happened. Well, large amounts of time, I guess, to be more accurate, but anyway.
Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons. Look down on... Do you mean those things... fly? Yes, of course! They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air. But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all. That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge. I suppose they might be. Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the opening experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it, though. I'd love to see how bad some of these scam experiments really are.
Iris is not full punches. This is why Iris is a treasure.
As the innocent 10-year-old girl.
I don't know how innocent she is. Well, in some senses. In other senses, she's very much is. See here! Every page of this paper carries some article or other about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. Yep. Thank you for the newspaper.
Shadows cast behind. Is that a metaphoric way of referring to the back page of the paper?
I wish Susato was here to tell Ryunosuke, no, that's not what it means. I want to look at the newspaper. Yeah. 18 pages. Oh, you can kind of see, like, there's a date. It looks like it's like 18... I want to say it says 32, which I think is wrong. It looks also like 51 to me, but that's also going to be very wrong. I mean, for starters, the clothes aren't even close. Oh wow, number... That's in the thousands. I'm getting distracted by weird things, sorry. 10 pages, 1 penny. But it's... Oh yeah, it does say 10 pages up there. Yeah, it is different numbers, but yeah. See, Tower Gardeners worldwide accolades. Is it all different? Hello. I need to move over. I forgot.
Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas. Cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must all go see it properly before too long.
Look, it's the excited dude. Back page. Lost cat. The Reaper attacked. It's Van Zeeks. And some dude.
So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there. Other than this gloomy looking one, that is. Wait, what? But What's the matter, Bruno?
It's Van Zeeks! And some dude in a mask!
The Reaper attacked? That's Lord Van Zeeks! This must be what Mr. Shlomes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder?
Lord Van Zeeks and company... No, wait, Lord Van Zeeks and compatriot cornered. Is it bad that I'm still more interested in the Lost Cat article? What is... I also see... Yeah, St. Bartholomew's Hospital. Public Health Service. What's going on there? I'm so curious. Ruffians aim to intimidate a man of justice. Wait, King Charles? What is that? That's 5, 6, 7. King Charles VII. I can't quite read that. Something something awards. Something something something. Saves. Like, can we read about the lost cat? Van Zeeks is probably fine. Probably just throws wine glasses in their face. He's got a sword. You can see it. He's fine. He's got somebody with him, apparently. Alright. No longer distracted by the newspaper. No, we're gonna ask why Shlomes is gloomy first, then we'll ask about the newspaper. Oh, I should move over or else I'm gonna block the text box. Wait, okay, don't go too far down south or else you can't see the Misi. Hello, Misi. I don't know if anyone's noticed, when I look down, the little Misi looks up a little bit. You can tell because you can, if I look up, you can't see its nose. If I look down, you can see its nose. I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, moving on.
Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Shlomes?
You could say that, I suppose.
Nothing more to add. That's not like you.
What sort of... Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. He doesn't want Iris to know. Apparently.
You're acting very strangely, Hurley. What do you mean, Iris? Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Hurley's mood.
Ah! She pinned him down.
Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Iris, please! You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions.
You say that, do you?
You, Mr. Shlomes. So much hate! Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. What did you get yourself into, Shlomes? I mean, I'm pretty sure I remember what it is. Ooh, I hope we can get to that moment. Oh, that moment's gonna be so funny.
That was a deep sigh.
Alright, now about the paper.
It says that... It says in that paper that Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible.
You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course. Don't you? Only too well, in fact.
Yes, Prosecutor Baruch Van Zeeks.
Hello. You just had to choose the pose where he has a wine glass, didn't you, Ryunosuke? Hello, Grandma Iris. Welcome, welcome.
They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock.
Fire!
Even if the defendant is found not guilty.
Face! Hello, Mr. Face.
Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short.
I'm sorry, that was supposed to be such a suspenseful moment, and there's me just like, oh, look at the fire. Oh, hey, look, it's Van Zieks' face. Oh, jeez. London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at a trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. Of course, Discount Vampire is who I log in and see. Well, now we have Shlomes. I need another little drinky. And we're gonna have Iris, too. There's gonna be a lot of Iris today. I'm sure you'll be happy about that, Grandma Iris. I am, for the record. I like Iris. She's a good character. She's also really good at catching people on their BS. She's like Horse Pucky. Okay, yeah, I read this. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work.
Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels.
So, do you mean Lord Van Zieks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time?
He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. I do want to point out, Ryunosuke, this was on the back cover. People probably look at the front and then open it up. At least that's my experience. People don't usually immediately flip over the newspaper. Unlike me, because it's a state's attorney. You only get the front and the back. So, would I do that? I don't know. I haven't really held a newspaper outside of doing archival work. It's been a while. Anyway. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time.
Oh my goodness. Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zieks hurt?
My dear fellow, how on earth would I know?
Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then.
No, I can't wait until tomorrow.
In that case, we shall have to inquire with somebody in the know.
But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps?
Ryunosuke's concerned about Lord Van Zieks. He's a good boy. Even though, in all honesty, Lord Van Zieks has done nothing but be a pain in the butt to Ryunosuke, and I don't know why Ryunosuke's so flustered about it. But I guess that goes to show you how, Ryunosuke's a good person. Okay. Well, I must be leaving now.
Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Shlomes.
Ah! You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow.
What?
You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time.
I thought that had crossed my mind. Now that I'm wondering where you are going.
Well then, see you later indeed. Are you dropping hints or are you just being an idiot? I can't tell.
Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out of that door.
Oh, hello. We are Minnie Mouse today.
Alright then, Bruno. Let's get going. Oh, Iris, what were you wearing?
I got changed to go to the Great Exhibition, and you're gonna take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, well that sounds fun too. You're gonna take me there then. If I didn't know that was just like a powdered paint launcher, I'd be much more alarmed, Iris, but Iris, don't point things at people, it's rude.
Alright, fine. Just lower that weapon, won't you?
Of course! And after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to the Great Exhibition. Perhaps not right away. Or, oh, hello. Why is it always saying, hey, you got new locations? I'm just like, oh, right, you exist. Catches me off guard. Not necessarily startles, but catches me off guard. Birds. How many birds are back there? Actually, that's actually... I just realized. That has a wall. And then it's just a drop behind there. That does not feel safe. That does not feel safe in the least. You could climb up and over there and like, how far is the drop behind there? Birds were flying, so maybe it's just ground level back there, but it could be a much deeper drop. There's big gears and stuff back there. Why is this guy's office in here? Besides to look ominous and steampunky. This is a dumb place for an office. Is there a bell up there? How does this work? I want to see more of this room. Anyway.
It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. Some things never change. Like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place.
Iris does not care.
It doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there.
What is she reading?
Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here. Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago.
Oh, right. They picked up... Iris was here to pick up Susato and all that. I think. That was what was going on. That was going on? Yeah.
When Susato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan.
Yep. Okay, this is definitely a strong heart. Oh, I haven't done his voice in a hot minute. What voice did I give him? Big, booming, commanding voice, I think? Let's see if I can still pull it off. Ah, I understand you wish to speak with me.
Oh, Lord Strongheart. I trust you've been keeping well.
Let's see. Since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies.
Oh, no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space.
You should bring reading material or something to do, Ryanosuke, if you don't usually have to wait hours at this man's office. That's on you at this point. Good to know.
Good to know that he doesn't appear to Good to know that it doesn't appear to bother him at all.
I don't think he cares.
L. Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preemptive status.
Yeah, I said that last bit rudely. As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result. Policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium.
Oh, I've not heard about that.
Investigation authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do. And it is my highest priority that others must wait for my attention as a result. So be it.
Well, it's nice to know where I stand.
So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about.
Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind as it happens.
You know, just take a deep breath and come out with it. Oh, we gotta talk to him. I hope I'm not the only one who just lists. I don't like this guy. He just screams, bad guy. Okay, permission to work.
I actually came here today to ask for your permission.
Go on.
6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes? Here it comes.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role.
Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling.
It is! It's playing Kazuma's theme! Still one of my favorite songs in this. Oh, of course you used this picture.
If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him.
His calling, you say. Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling?
Sorry?
The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was?
What do you mean? Mission? It's not making any sense.
He always is remembering the day his best friend died. I feel bad for him. Never mind. I've read all the reports you submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been have been studiously obeying your revised instructions.
Do you mean?
As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's wonderful news. Wait. That's wonderful news, you know?
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope.
Of course. Please, tell me more.
Curious affair.
You described it as a curious affair.
Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday?
Oh,
No.
Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. How was it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think. Instantaneous kinesis? As in moving things with a click of the fingers? That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A dash of devil may care. Whatever this serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination.
It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage, and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Asman, an investor and a well-known figure in society. Odie Asman. Old as man? Is that another as old as time kind of thing? Are we gonna get something that's just like, yeah, and this kind of thing's been going on as old as man has been around? Is that it? Odie as man. Okay.
A large explosion. Hey, a man died.
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Hare... I think it's pronounced Brain? Yeah, it was Professor Albert Harebrain. He was detained immediately after the incident, and is due to appear in court tomorrow. On the charge of murder.
What? Murder?
If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There is very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation.
Great exhibition. A scientific experiment gone wrong. And murder.
Odious man pie. Oh, is that what it's supposed to be? What does that mean? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. What does that word mean? Oop. Let's try, I can't type. I can't type. Chat, I can't type. Oh, extremely unpleasant, repulsive. Oh, we have such a fantastic victim. I wonder why they're dead. Also, hold on. I just realized. My happy top is fairly warm. Let me put on the fan. I don't think the fan picks up on the mic. Let me see. I'm gonna stop talking for a second to test to see if the fan gets picked up or not. Looks like it does a little. If I turn it this way, we'll be fine. That did help. Okay. And there's a little bit of noise. I don't think it'll be picked up very much, but if there's a little bit of extra noise, that's the fan. Okay.
I feel out of my depth before I even started. Still... We should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor. Don't you think? Definitely.
Oh yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper.
Oh, with Lord Van Zeets. How?
Okay, forensic science symposium. We don't get any more info besides that. Okay. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium.
It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it?
Exactly. Ah! What was that about, Iris? London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at similarly... Yeah, okay. Take two. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it is imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible.
Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it?
Exactly. The future of policing. Ah! Apparently he's being really loud when he's saying that. Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods.
Oh dear, that's alarming.
Exactly. It's extremely alarming. Ah! Stop scaring Iris! Jeez, put your voice down. If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim.
Sorry.
By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now.
What? Oh, how fascinating.
It all began 15 years ago. I was... Trails off. All the dots. Ryunosuke's falling asleep. The vision going blurry. The lighthouse. Ryunosuke fell asleep. I'm gonna need a drink. And we're back. And that's more or less sums up my feelings on the matter. In the simplest of terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission.
Oh, right. Yes, that's wonderful.
Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it would be. She's over there.
Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now. Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful? I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly adherent about forensic science.
Oh, do I? Let's see. Wait, no, not there. Not there. I gotta back out here. Can I show him the newspaper?
Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this?
The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition. Of course.
No, not that. The story on the back page.
What story? He didn't read it. The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zeeks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you.
Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know.
Very well. If it interests you.
It does, strangely.
Agreed. Why are you so worried? He's been nothing but a jerk to you. Van Zeeks' condition. Fortunately, Lord Van Zeeks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter.
But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. How was he attacked, though? Do we know?
It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zeeks. The man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes.
Large sums of money?
A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday.
But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely?
The victim's henchmen certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Asman, Mr. Odie Asman.
Did you say Asman?
Asman Gold. I don't even know where that's from. That's just what's popped in my... Oh wait, no. Asmongold. The streamer. That's what I'm making it agree. It's just like... poorly pronounced. Anyway, moving on.
That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes. Known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization.
Unbelievable.
Not really.
I wonder, could I ask you something, Lord Strongheart?
Try me.
Why do you use Lord Van Zeeks as a prosecutor?
Why did you take out your watch?
All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with a mysterious end outside of the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zeeks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper, in that sense, but still, something's clearly going on here.
I have Van Zeeks work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him.
That doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died if not by someone's hand?
Van Zeeks may have earned himself the moniker of Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on the behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Yep, and that ends the conversation here. Well, we're wrapping it up now. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget.
11 hours late? That's quite something.
That meeting has already started. Oh, wait. That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man.
I'm sure it stops for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Van Zeeks now?
I would assume he's at his office.
Right, I'll go ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth.
Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Hairbrain's defense entirely in your hands.
Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord.
Yep. Are we good? Nope. Now we go. Okay, we can go talk to the Hairbrain. Or we can go to the prosecutor. Honestly, I want to go see Van Zeeks. I want to go see Van Zeeks. Let's go. Even though he's a jerk. I want to see him more. Well, there's some wine bottles and glasses, so we're in the right place. Also, is that a miniature? Prosecutor's office.
Ooh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office. Yes, it appears so. Hey, it sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere. Oh, is that...
Hello there.
That hooded figure was so still. I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is.
What are you doing here? Ah! Hi, Van Zeeks. Have we ever had him have a straight-on look at us? I feel like leaving it here. He's judging you. I'm getting a drink. I'm gonna need it to do this man's voice. Okay. He's like, answer, why are you here? He does not like Ryunosuke.
He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well.
I am. I think Van Six is bad at talking to people.
So, who's the person over by the wall? Be punished for something or other?
No punishment is taking place here.
Oh,
That's my apprentice, and he's sitting there of his own free will.
I didn't know you had an apprentice. It must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper.
He's very able in combat. I require a requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage.
Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers?
The Reaper? I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming, that is, such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms. Hello! How are you? We came to do a wellness check. You... you jerk. Last night's attack.
Lord Strongheart said that the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack?
True. Carried out by henchmen of Odie Asman's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were immediate. Presumably, some hoped to kill me before that happened.
Odie Asman.
He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhanded means, via his criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
The man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact. In extraordinary circumstances. It was a most unusual cause of death. You know what? I think this is the longest conversation we've ever had Van Zeeks without Van Zeeks insulting Ryunosuke in some way. See? You are capable of polite conversation. Okay. I am done sassing.
I know about that. It was super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong.
That surprised him.
Mr. Asman died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion.
Correct. Good God. Any conversation with Van Zeeks is too long. Oh boy. This poor man's not very well liked, is he? He gets attacked, he gets sassed by grandmas. This man has no friends and you can tell. This man must be very lonely. You think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you?
Well, no. That does seem a little far-fetched. This man really is the fabled Reaper, and he has to be innocent of this particular death at least. It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Bruno? I mean, with what with your taking on the professor's defense for tomorrow's...
Yeah, okay. Take two.
I mean, what with you taking on the professor's defense for the trial tomorrow?
What? You're gonna be defending him. He's taken aback. Why are you so surprised?
Oh, yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest.
Albert. Albert Hairbrain.
That's right. Do you know him by any chance?
Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together.
You're... What?
You do have a friend, maybe. You have a classmate at least. You're contemporary.
I'd understood that Professor Hairbrain was from Germany, though.
Hairbrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research. That's all.
So you were students together?
I was in the Faculty of Law, of course, and he in Science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days. You do have friends! Well, a friend. We haven't spoken to in years. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you of all people representing him.
Ugh, if only I make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems.
Honestly, one of the big shocks is this man has a friend! I was saying in my description that we're gonna get a lot of weaving together plot threads and stuff. We're gonna get a lot of twists and turns, but I guess that kind of goes without saying. One of them is this man has a friend! I do have to admit, knowing the story of the game, that is legitimately one of the most shocking things in this game. I mean, there's other things that are easily higher, but still, it's like on the list. This man has a friend. Oh gosh. Yes, I know. Because the prosecution will be handled by me.
By you? But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends.
We are friends. It's true. You are friends! He admits it! He has a friend! He's gonna prosecute him, though! You're such a joy to have as a friend, aren't you, Van Zeeks? Oh, gosh.
Then why would you do this? If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed.
It's just quiet. Everyone's quiet now.
What's Lord Van Zeek's thinking?
I have no idea. I'm just gonna talk about it. This Reaper thing.
What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity... does that mean...
I'm a crown prosecutor, an immortal like any other. I'm no demigod.
But they've all died, haven't they? The people you've prosecuted, I mean.
Also, you wouldn't be a demigod if you were a Reaper, you'd be a sycophant. Moving on.
Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal...
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who, without question, deserve to be found guilty.
The world is a better place without them. But that's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all. Nor was Ginny, in fact. She's ever so hardworking now.
You're getting sassed by a 10-year-old.
I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. Any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work. Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
Fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. Oh, it would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives.
Do you mean to say?
I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly and with honor.
But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed.
That is my fate. Let God decide.
Lord Van Zeeks. Can I show him the favor? Oh, I might have to talk to Hairbrain. Given that they're friends, there might be something I get from Hairbrain that show him, because that is our next destination. I'm gonna show him the newspaper, though.
Lord Van Zeeks, about the article in this paper. Ah, yes. It seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
He's also wearing a top hat. I want to see Van Zeeks in a top hat, like in this 3D model. He's also wearing his cape, but we've seen that. But you know, I forget. He actually does have a top. He wears a top hat outside. I guess that's pretty normal in this time period that this game is loosely based on. Top hat Van Zeeks. I don't know why that amuses me so greatly, but it does. It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Rest assured, police have already apprehended every last one of them.
But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. Hello. And I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it?
As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice.
Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him. Fancy doesn't want to talk. Your apprentice.
He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Ah, like you are to Hurley then, Bruno. I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective.
He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. It looks like he's
It looks like he's wearing some kind of mask.
on Lord Strongheart's orders. Who knows the man's face, or indeed his identity?
Is he the Reaper? I don't trust Strongheart. Why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual?
Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. there will be a good reason for his actions. I hope you're right.
He just keeps looking over. Hello? You got up. Hello there. That's one intense look. Ah!
The task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate... Wait. Collate? Is that pronounced collate? Okay. The task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all the benefits.
Nod. Hello. You are so suspicious.
Nice to meet you.
Do you speak? Nope.
Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed. And yet, somehow, it didn't feel like our first encounter. Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it. Oh, I see. Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway? Hmm? Oh no, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to... The way you stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be.
Hmm.
Oh yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Oh, what's that? That Nipponese man. Is he faring well?
Sorry? He's meeting Natsume.
The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago. With the stoop, and the mustache, and the jitters.
Ah, Mr. Natsume. Mr. Word? Ah, Mr. Natsume, you mean. I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Runa. Didn't he describe himself like that a couple of times?
He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see.
Are you happy he's not dead?
Well, I think we can end our discussion here, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case. Yes, thank you for the advice. And for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Soseki-san. After a Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried.
I just think he's an idiot. I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist. Did you? That's a turn up for the books.
A mad scientist? Ah, you mean Professor Hairbrain.
Mad scientist isn't too far from what I think that guy is. He sounds easily excitable.
Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zeeks, I think.
Hi. He's just gonna stand there menacingly. I'm gonna poke around your office now. Got a wine cabinet thingy here. Okay, yeah, I did hit. Okay.
Look at that fine collection of hollowed chalices and bottles neatly lined up here, there. My hollowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit. I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world.
giggle. This idiot. And I mean Van Zeeks.
And yet, you throw them around in court like they were worthless.
Yes. Because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wide off the mark sometimes.
Oh!
Apparently Van Zeeks can't abide by people he finds stupid. He throws a tantrum like a 3-year-old. Seriously. You are an idiot. You're the smartest idiot I know. In this game. Okay. No, even Schlums does not take that title, even though he pretty much takes the title of like literally every single other character mark.
Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile.
That's on you.
So, it's my fault. Silly me. How could I have ever thought otherwise?
They make Rhianno's face. I love when Iris calls out the Scout Vampire. Oh, Iris is a force to be reckoned with. I also want to poke... I mean, I imagine people want me to poke around the office because they probably want to see, because it's Van Zeek's office. But I also, to be quite honest, sticking Iris anywhere near Lord Van Zeek's is like you're in for a treat because you will inevitably sass the man, and it's beautiful. So I'm gonna have fun poking through his office. Can I look at this chessboard?
Lord Van Zeeks' desk. Look, it's so stylish. And that's a marble chess set beside it. Chess. That's the Western version of our Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems. Oh, really? You probably like chess problems in that case. I'd love to challenge Lord Van Zeek sometime. To a bunch of shogi problems. If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own. You can always do that on your own at home. You can play a game with...
What is that? Is that a telephone? What am I looking at? I'm not sure what that is. I want to look at it closer, but I can't. So much wine for the liner. Okay, is that all in this area? Those are some nice windows. It's got curtains. Okay. So now we're in the middle of the room. Oh, it's that thing from the opening. Here's a... Wait. There's like a person on the ground. Oh, is this like a little recreation of what happened? Because there's the machine. Why is there an air balloon? Air balloon. Who's that? Is that it? Is that a picture of yourself?
That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it?
There's no scar.
It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Van Zeek's facial features. Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think. Ah, that reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him.
That's a pretty common practice, to be honest.
How vain. That's not an attractive quality in a person, is it?
That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Why are you so cranky?
Oh, then who is it?
Do you not want to talk about it? He doesn't want to talk about it. But person who looks like Van Zeeks is not Van Zeeks. Probably a relative. Not knowing how old or new that is, I couldn't say. I say like a liar because I've played this before, but yeah, I'm gonna keep play dumb. For the viewer's sake. Woo! I'm really good at doing that. Haha. Okay. What's this? Ooh, look! It's a scaled model of the Great Exhibition Showground. Also, this is funny because can you imagine just what has happened is just Ryunosuke and Iris show up in this man's office, look around a bit, and he's like, why are you here? They have a conversation with him, and they immediately start poking around his office. Say what you will by Van Zeeks, but in this scenario, he looks like he has the patience of a saint. He's just dealing with this 10-year-old and young man poking around his office. Where he probably needs to work. Is he just watching them going like, what is with this Japanese kid? And also, hello, small pink-haired girl. Wait, you know, we haven't really gotten an opinion of Van Zeek's on Iris. I mean, I think, no, that was, he did upset her calling Shlom's work a sham, but that's like as close as we got. That him going like, why would you believe in a guy like that? And she's like, screw you too, Van Zeeks. Except more politely and in a more Iris way. But is that a banner for France? I think that's France. The one in the middle. It's blue, white, and red. Is that green on top? And white? And then orangey red? Is that Spain's flag? I recognize that flag, but I don't remember which country it was. It looks like there's another French flag in the back to the left of the tower. I felt that doesn't really have a pattern on it. It looks like it has a lot of French. Well, if it is French, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't exactly look at flags very often. Anyway. I suppose I can check later. Okay, what are they saying about it? That's amazing. I wonder why it's here. Perhaps he made it to take his mind off of the sadness of being too busy to attend in person? Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. He's... I'm sorry. This is really funny to me. They're like, oh, I wonder what he's like. And he's standing like a few feet over there. He's like, would you quit pretending I'm not here? I love bugging around Van Zeeks' office. I just end up bugging him the whole time. Oh boy. Okay, I need to focus. I'm getting sidetracked so much today. Surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid. Ah! Nipponese have no business painting others as overly reserved. Ugh, I really didn't think he'd overhear that. He's like right probably by his desk. He's like right over here. What did you expect? Wait, is that one guy still here? Yeah, you're still there. Hi. Did I get everything here? Do. Who are you? Oh my gosh, it's bats. He looks perturbed. Van Zeeks? Yeah. He's like, why do you keep making assumptions? Bats. Bats and face! Ah! They were bats! Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect. But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. Not just the flying kind. He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper then. I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary though, either way. He's finding scary. The bats are gone! Okay, we'll check this and then we'll poke at the guy. Look at all those ancient casks lining the wall there.
casts in the Reaper's chamber? Or are they caskets? You don't think all those people who escape conviction in court are lying?
I was slowly I'm sorry, she's slowly going to her horrified, startled animation. Oh gosh. Oh, okay, let me redo the line. I ended up laughing halfway through.
All those people who escape conviction in court are lying inside them.
Instead, do you think? What ridiculous notions are you going through your... I messed it up. What ridiculous notions are going through your head, man? This is my collection of fine vintages. This is just Bully Van Zeeks. I love poking through this man's office. It's just Bully Van Zeke. You should have been nicer.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for clearing that up. Runa and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper.
I wouldn't. You hadn't invited yourselves to my office to talk nonsense within my earshot. I want an animated version of this so bad. Though it probably wouldn't have enough episodes, like, people wouldn't be willing to pay for enough episodes to have it, so it just has Ryunosuke and Iris poke through his office and Van Zeke's progressively get more annoying. Oh, but could you imagine? You just have, like, the camera is, like, against the wall, their perspective's against the wall. You have Ryunosuke and Iris on one side, Iris slowly getting, you know, more and more horrified by Ryunosuke sitting there, looking more and more perturbed and, like, sweaty, going like, oh my gosh, there's dead people. And then you can just see Van Zeke's in the background of the desk progressively getting more, like, he's about to break his pen. He's just like, what are you idiots talking about? Okay, who are you, Poke?
It really looks like a punishment to me. I've never seen someone sitting like that before. He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Do you think perhaps he's dead? If he was dead, Bruno, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he? Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us. He's not dead!
Can I not bully Van Zeeks anymore? Ah, phooey. Okay, I guess we'll go talk to Hairbrain. Or, no, that was just lighting up on the desk. Okay. Aww. Sorry, you looked out. I could show you the attorney, the arm strap, but eh. Let's go. We can't bully Van Zeeks. Let's go talk to Hairbrain for a little bit. Or however long this lasts. Actually, depending on how long this takes, this may be the last thing we do this stream. Or not. It depends. Hello there.
The warden said cell 11. That's this one. Oh! There's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner. Look! What's his name again? Professor Albert Hairbrain, wasn't it?
Excuse me. Professor Hairbrain. Got his attention. Hello. Hello. He's got the anime glasses. Call a doctor. He has a terminal case of anime glasses. Okay, jokes aside. Oh, wait. I'm gonna have to give this man a voice. He's obviously gonna show up more than one time being the defendant and all. We just heard him. I don't think I could do a voice like that. What voice am I going to give him? Oh, jeez. Who else is going to show up is the question. I could give him more of a high-pitched, squeaky voice. I don't think we're gonna get I should have looked up a character list so I can make sure the voices don't overlap too much. I have a limit to how many voices I can do. I guess I'll do... I'll give it a try. Who are you?
I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer.
A lawyer? Ah! Was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis?
Your hypothesis? Sorry,
Yesterday's demonstration! Oh my gosh, that's a face. I think we may need that anime doctor. That magnificent demonstration was. It was an all-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens. No lawyer believes in the science. When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity. Or by sauce. What word? Ha. Velocity? Yeah, okay, it is. It is velocity. Okay, I read that correctly.
Now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while too.
How are you able to talk to Schlums then? Okay. Yesterday's demonstration.
You mentioned the demonstration yesterday. The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he?
Ah! Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success.
You've lost me.
I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Asman was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However,
the machine exploded and Mr. Asman in fact perished.
Yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure.
So what you're really saying is, the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct?
But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder. I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I will be punished. At once. But... murder? Never in a million years. It was an accident. Simply an accident.
I see.
Hurley and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder.
How exactly?
Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in a protective custody.
On what grounds?
Ah, yes! It's newly established here in Britain. The Special Disposition for Scientific Equipment Act. Suspension? Wait, hold on. What is that word? Dispensation? The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. That's a mouthful. Also on point for the time period. They always made really long. I mean, nowadays you get like Japanese titles that are really long translations. Like, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, or I'm a spider, so what? Then it's a little bit longer, you know, like an actual sentence. But back in Victorian times, it did the same darn thing. I would know. I've read newspapers from the time period. Which, yes, hello, hi. You can do that, too. Seriously? I guess, quick aside note. If you want to learn about old-timey things, go find a museum. They usually have some part of the archive department be there if you, like, call up to ask about a certain incident or such like. Like, I want to see newspapers from, like, X year and X month. They will be able to give you copies and stuff, typically, for at least the public, or more. Public. Government funded, I guess, to be more accurate to say. Anyway, museums give you information for free if you ask. Many a time. Though it'll be copies. Don't expect to actually get the artifact. I mean, I don't know why you would. That doesn't really make sense. It's not a library. Anyway.
Had one passed me by. But if the case is treated as murder,
then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pore over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea! My precious hypothesis will be stolen! The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial.
Ah, I see now.
His voice is gonna be murder. Instantaneous kinesis. Kinesis. I guess it is kinesis? Yeah, it's kinesis. Okay. Words are hard.
So, in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition showground yesterday.
Yes! Or rather, no. The devil's in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion.
Sounds the same to me.
This man needs a cold glass of water. He is too excited. He needs to calm down and chill out. Jeez.
You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating!
Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible, using a sufficiently high voltage, to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see. That's my amazing hypothesis.
Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science.
Oh gosh. Stop moving like that. Oh, but dare to imagine it! Dare to dream of such incredible technology! Just think! One moment I could be here in this cell, and the next, I could be at the Great Exhibition again.
Well, yes, that would be incredible.
And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at the Great Parisian Theater, say. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach.
Oh, no more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days.
That did happen.
I don't really see it like that. Do you mean, Iris? Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantaneously, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk.
My word! That's exactly right! What are the implications? What does this mean? Is that a jab how you kind of just teleport from one area to the next so the world feels kind of small because there's not a lot of set pieces? Is that a meta contextual thing?
Oops, that's got Professor Bunnybrain really worried by the look of it. Clearly, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose.
The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment.
Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have.
That's exactly it, yes.
Harley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science.
But anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Asman.
The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean?
Yep. The Reaper's varsity. Here's this a topic. No, we're continuing on the victim. We will get there. So what was the Reaper like in school? Oh gosh, that's silly.
The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Asman, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man?
He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to investigate my immaculate hypothesis. And I thanked my lucky stars.
I see. So you hadn't really known each other until then.
Money for scientific research. So envious. As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel.
Oh, really?
An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Asman provided me with the money and an exceptional engineer. He produced a machine to my precise specifications.
But then, your dreams were blown to dust in one enormous explosion.
As you can see, I owe everything to Mr. Asman. I would never, ever have thought of taking the man's life.
Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying.
So how was the Reaper at university?
I understand Lord Van Zeeks is a friend of yours from your university days.
Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
Good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, and an all-around nice fellow, really. What happened?
Sorry, I think you misheard me.
Wait, do we have Van Zeeks in the people record? Yeah, we do. Yeah, he's 33. Oh, he had a birthday. At the beginning of the... I just realized, if he had a birthday... I wonder what the time frame is, because then he could probably figure out what time of year this man's birthday is, if it's not, like, listed in some... Usually in Japan, it gives you a bio with, like, the birthday, blood type, and height, and all that. But we won't get that in the West. Do we have that? Those questions. Anyway, he's 33, so yeah, it's been some years. What happened? So he must have been... If the education system, it hasn't changed much from present day, then he'd be going off to university at, like... Would it be 16 to 18? I'm not entirely familiar. I mean, probably early 20s. I'm like, he'd be much younger. Well, noticeably not. Nice. Yeah, he's a big fluff ball.
Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barack Van Zeeks. What was he like when he was at university? Talk about a leading question here now.
As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Van Zeeks family, with all its great aristocratic origins.
I didn't realize he had such noble blood.
You couldn't tell, Iris, by looking at the man. Or his office. You can't afford that without being a noble in this day and age. Or a merchant family, actually. Anyway.
Little darling.
That's a funny thing to call Van Zeeks. It really is bully Van Zeeks today. It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learnt what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less.
Yes, that's right.
I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation.
Really? What sort of event?
Ah! I'm sorry. I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already.
Oh, yes, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zeeks would be the prosecutor in court tomorrow.
Oh, is that the end of the conversation? Yep.
So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying. You had no intention to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work, is that correct?
As correct as 2 squared is 4. I swear it. Is it? I don't know math well. Yes, it's true that the man perished in a machine of my invention. So I know that I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life. Not in a centrillion years. How long is that? I'm a man of silence. It's all I know. You have to believe me, please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. And I've always believed that, all my life. This guy... Deep breaths, my dude.
I'm afraid I don't know much about science, or your theories, but I do believe you, and I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. It's all I know. You have to believe me, please.
When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything.
Thank you for that, Professor.
And thank you in advance for defending me in tomorrow... Oh, yeah. And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
All right, Bruno.
It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition.
Sorry.
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate at last.
I'm enjoying the song. But I think that's a decent enough stopping point. I think that's a decent enough stopping point. Oh, I need a stretch. Wah. I think that's a good enough example of what to expect in this episode. So we got an exploding machine, an overly enthusiastic scientist who is the friend, shock of all shocks, of Van Zeeks. Van Zeeks used to be a nice guy. Well, nicer guy. And we got a mysterious dude in a mask who refuses to speak. That somehow is very familiar to Ryunosuke. Yes, I'm having I know more than you moment, but let me have my fun. I'm not saying anything. You figure it out on your own, Mises. I'm making you have to think on your own. Then again, you could probably just Google it if it's really bothering you that much. I wouldn't suggest it, but I mean, it's an option. Anyway, you can see why I'm getting more excited. We get to learn more about Van Zeeks. We get to bully the man. Kind of deserved. This is some teasing is deserved with all this stuff, all the rudeness and stuff he puts Ryunosuke through. We get to hang out with Iris more because Suzato's not here. She is still in Japan, I believe. I know she shows up again, but I don't remember when. When does Susato show back up? I mean, clearly they're not gonna just leave her. She is gonna come back. I mean, we started... What is it? Episode 6? Episode 6 we played as her. They're gonna have her... They're gonna bring her back. That's a slight spoiler, but I mean, you should probably be able to figure that out on your own. Okay. Stuff is happening in the background for me. I'm like, oh gosh, what happened? I think we're okay. But yeah, we will be continuing this next week on Monday and Friday. Well, maybe Monday and Thursday. 2 days next week. Definitely Monday, and maybe Thursday or Friday, depending on how I'm feeling, scheduling things. Yeah. We're getting into the good stuff. Yay! Oh, you know, I forgot on that list who the guy is in the portrait. Also, Van Zeeks apparently has a tragic backstory. Are we gonna unlock this man's tragic backstory? Let's find out! I'm excited. So excited. I'm like, I have been, since the start of the series, waiting to get to these episodes, and we're finally here. I'm having a good time. I gotta share it. And I will do my best not to spoil or anything, but I am a flawed individual. I may mess up, but I will do my best. I will do my best to play dumb for the sake of my viewers. Oh boy. In any case, if you were enjoying it as much as I was today, yes. Enjoying it as much as I was today, please feel free to leave a like on the video, maybe a comment or two if you have something to say, and if you're really enjoying yourself, maybe consider subscribing, because we will be definitely having more of The Great Ace Attorney, along with other games, because I like other, more mystery-orientated. Because I've played, let's see, Another Code Recollection. Yeah, Recollection. Recollection? Is it Recollection or Recollection? Okay, but it's another Code game that came out. Remake. That one. Played that. Play a lot of adventure games like Okami. Oh wait, there's another mystery game I played. I played Ghost Trick. How was that? Am I missing something else? I might be. Oh well. I can't remember everything at once. I play lots of other games. Feel free to look at the playlist if you want to see more of them. If you're considering subscribing. Because you should probably subscribe to people who are like, hey, wait, I like a lot of these games. We have the same taste in video games. I will watch you. I don't expect somebody to be like, nah. I like one game you play. I showed up for this one. I don't want to be here for more. I'm like, no, fair. Go find somebody else you enjoy better. I'm not going to get insulted. I acknowledge people have different taste. Any case, I am grateful if you do any of those things, because like I've just mentioned, it means you're like, cool save, and it's like a same hat moment, which is always fun, always nice. Oh, and to my brain's going all over the place, I'm sorry. But yes, the last thing I have to say is thank all of you so much for watching, whether it's live or in the VOD. I'm very much grateful that you spend some of your precious time to come over and look at my streams. I'm very grateful. But for now, I must bid you all farewell with a fond bye-bye, and I hope to see you another time.